today's project, I am going to dye some sock yarn. I'm going to be dyeing sock yarn also from Dharma. So I ordered everything from Dharma, and today's colorway, the main colorway that I'm going to work on, and I'll show you the dyes. So my inspiration for this colorway is kind of a traditional Halloween colors, traditional kind of witchy poo colors. So I'm going with a purple. This one is Plum Dandy. It's kind of a magenta purpley, I don't know, reddish purple, I should say. Blazing orange, chartreuse, and black. And I'm going to do kind of stripes is my intention. I don't know if it'll be like technically a self-striping yarn, probably not, probably more still pooling. So I need to mix up my dye. I'm going to mix it into little squirt bottles so that I have the most control over where the dye goes onto my yarn. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to probably just do it off camera. My workspace is all set up. I have all my dyes mixed and ready to go. I already have just an old drop cloth plastic here, but I am going to get some plastic wrap. And we're going to spread out the yarn. So my yarn has been soaking here. It's soaked overnight in soapy water to clean it. And then I rinsed it this morning, and then I have been soaking it for the last couple of hours in a mixture of warm water and citric acid. Basically a tablespoon of citric acid for every quart of water. So I think I had a gallon of water in there. And so 4 tablespoons. Now lay the yarn out. So there's one skein, and I want to kind of spread it a little bit so that when the dye goes in here, it can go all the way through. You know what I mean? I mean, I'll flip it anyway, but the more spread out it is, the less chance of white spots. So my plan is purple, green, and orange separated with black stripes. Because if you know anything about color theory, purple and orange go together, you get a muddy brown. It's, you know, and the green and the orange, yeah, you're going to get some muddy colors. The black is to be the stripes between, thin stripes. But I don't think I want just 3 chunks. I don't think I want it purple, green, orange. I think I want it purple, green, orange, purple, green, orange. My problem is my labels are from a different dye job on here, so I got to remember what I put where. This is the purple. So we're just going to start here. I don't think I'm going to get I don't know why I didn't order a vivid purple. I ordered this plum, which is more of a red purple. But we're going to go with what we got because and then purple, orange, green, purple, green, orange. Purple, green, orange, I think. Green, and I'm just going to leave a little space. Now I want to make sure, I'm pretty sure it's not going to have gone all the way through to the other side. Well, maybe it did. Hold on, let me. Ooh, I got a lot of muck under there. I might have enough dye here. It might have gone through. This is an awful thin yarn. Yeah, I'm afraid the other side is going to be really mucky. Too much. We'll see, because see how that black is going into the orange? I might have put too much black on. This is how we live and learn, right? This is why we didn't do both skeins at once, although I'm going to have to make up more dye to do the other skein. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to take these ends and wrap it in this. We are leaking out the back side. I was afraid of that. Ah, dang it. There. Extra layer. I'm afraid I'm going to have it. We'll see. We'll have what we're going to get. What we get. It might be very mucky and black and icky, but this little packet I'm going to steam set. All right. So here is skein number 2. I mixed up more chartreuse green, but I'm going to just use up the orange and purple as I have it. So because I feel like there was just too much dye liquid on that other one. And that underneath it was kind of sitting in the muck. And so I think half of my skein is going to be, maybe all of it once it gets steam set, it's going to be mucky. It's not going to be the bright, distinct colors that I was going for. But you know what? Whatever it ends up being, it's going to be what I wanted. Right? Right. So I think this time I'm going to go green in both ends and green in the middle. And then purple and orange and purple and orange, and then a thin stripe of black, because that black went whoop everywhere. So that's my plan. Let's do, since I have more green than I have anything else. This next technique, I'm going to try is more what I'm familiar with when it comes to like when I do ice dyeing. And I am putting a mask on, so I'm going to sound a little muddled, probably. But I have my powdered dyes. I have water with citric acid dissolved in it and plain water. And these have just been soaked in water, and so they're wet, damp. And then I have my 4 colors that I'm going to try on this: Blued Steel, Cabernet, Moss Green, and Fawn. So I think I'm going to start with the blue, and I have my mask on, and I have a separate spoon for each color, and you don't really need a whole lot. I'm just going to kind of I don't really want big clumps. And there's no acid on this yarn yet. Won't start reacting. Okay, I got to get better at shaking these out. Okay, let's start with that. Yeah, I'll put a little down at this end while I got it out open. I think that's going to be way too much, but we'll see. I got one. This is the Fawn. Okay. This is the Moss Green. Oh, I may have tried to avoid buying all the colors that I always buy, but you better bet your britches that I bought greens because I love greens. And then this is Cabernet. I think I'm going to put more. This is Tornado Gray. So I kind of want this to be like a subdued autumnal afternoon. Now I'm just going to start adding. This is just the plain water. Try to get things floating a little bit. To kind of get the dyes to start dissolving and moving through the yarn a little bit. And then I'm going to squish. And now I can start adding the water with the citric acid in it. And that will start getting the dyes to activate. I want the colors to go through the bottom, all the way through the yarn. I don't care if there's some light and darks. That's kind of fun. I don't really want any pure white. I'm going to take this guy and flip him. Oops. Look at that Cabernet. Oh, that is gorgeous. Let's add a little more of that right in here. Flip both of them at the same time, eh? Oh, this is going to have some colors. Yeah, who didn't buy purple? Why does it matter? I'm going to get purple anyway. Where's my moss green? And maybe some more fawn. That blued steel is giving me exactly what I wanted. I wanted a, well, blue steel, like, you know, Zoolander. No, I wanted that stormy November sky. So now, I've got a little bit of breakage there. I am going to add a little bit more of this citric acid water. Clean up my mess a little bit. And I'm going to let this just sit here while I go do some steaming over at the stove of the other painted yarns that I just did. I got to switch out one for the other, clean up my hands. And then I'm going to put this on the stove top at a low setting to heat set. So over here at the cooktop, we have this pan. I might throw a piece of foil over it just to hold the heat in, but it's over 2 eyes on the burners at low, very low. We're going to see what happens. The second bundle of painted yarn is in the steamer basket. It's going to steam. I'm actually going to go get a watch and see how long that takes. And the first one that basically steamed the whole time we were working on the second one and the pan, so it's got at least good 30 minutes. It's in here. I'm just letting it sit here until it cools off a little bit or till the other one's done. And then we'll let them both cool and then pull them out and rinse them. I have a feeling there's going to be a lot of unexhausted dye in all of this, but I'm figuring it out. This one, I'm really excited to see what this turns out like. Hopefully it's not just a muddy mess, but hopefully it turns out cool. So I'll let you come back later and see what we end up with. I'm going to go clean up the rest of my mess so I can have a brownie, but I can't eat a brownie when I have dye all over my kitchen. I guess I don't need this on anymore. I've got my powders all put away and cleaned up. Whew. So yes, going to clean up all this mess, and as much as I want to just go get all the dye and all the fiber that I bought and just come in here and play, I've got to exercise a little restraint. I know it's kind of hard for me because I know I'm going to continue to learn new things and I want stuff to do it with and I don't want to spend more money. So I've got to, this is one experiment. We'll see how it goes. I'll learn from this and then I'll do the next experiment. Plus I have a lot more natural dyeing that I want to do this fall. I've got to conserve some of my raw materials for that as well. And more colors that I bought in this acid dye that I don't know why I bought it. I don't remember what my original plan was. And I have raw fiber that I want to dye in the fleece, like it's not in the fleece, it's roving or comb top, and I want to dye that and then spin it because I want to play with that as well. I'm going to clean in here while I keep an eye on what's happening over at the stove. And this is instant gratification, which is fun because other dyeing is not so much instant. Natural dyes take forever, but we'll do what we're going to do. Okay, can't wait to see what we end up with. So here is the final reveal of my dyeing experiments with acid dyes. This is the first one, and I have to admit this is basically a fail. Way too much black. It is basically black, most of it, with a few spots like this green area. I love the way this section looks with the bright green and the black, but the areas that were orange and the black just covered it. In really bright light, you can see the orange peeking through, and the purple is completely gone. There's just a tiny bit. Also, my purple was way more red than I wanted. There's a little bit of purple in there. And then here's some more orange and some more green. Yeah, I don't know what I'm going to do with this. I'm either at some point when I have some black dye mixed up again, I will just over dye it all black and have some black sock yarn. That's one possibility. Or I'll reskein it and I'll mix it in with the next yarn that I'm going to show you, which is the second one that I did. Okay. So as you can see here, I did a little bit better of not overdoing it with the black dye, but I still didn't really get the stripe effect that I was looking for. My purple still did not turn out purple. That is mainly just color selection issues. That's a me problem. There's some parts that are purple, but they're not very brilliant. If you're going to have a bright chartreuse acid green like that, you need the purple to be a very vivid purple. So vivid violet, or I think there's an iris or something like that. I have to go back and look at my dye charts. And then the orange is okay. It is very much safety orange. Not a lot of it in there. So somewhere between a fail, it's definitely a learning experience. We'll say that. I'm going to reskein this and see how it looks when it's been reskeined. It's not horrible. It's just not what I had in mind. But for my first attempt, I learned a lot. Okay, now I did have a winner. These are the two that I put in the pan and put the dye powders directly on the yarns. So my colors here, moss green, cabernet, which is the reddish purple, fawn, and blue steel. And there is also, and I think it's more apparent in this one, on one of these, well, on both of them, but it shows up more on this one. I also put a little bit of tornado gray in here. I think that's kind of coming through in here, which I think is beautiful. So as you can imagine, because I love everything purple and green, this colorway makes me very happy. It's going to be a scarf, a shawl. It's too pretty to wear on my feet, so I'm not sure. I don't need any more shawls, but I don't know what else to do with it. It's just very pretty. Now, I could also reskein it and put it in my shop and offer it to one of you to purchase, and then I can have money to make more. if that's something you'd like to see, I really don't like to start a new craft and immediately try to monetize it, because I am not a professional fabric dyeing is one thing, not a professional yarn dyer, but sometimes you get happy accidents, I guess, that turn out beautifully, and then you have hot messes that turn out like this. So if you want my hot mess, let me know. Yeah, if you could see this one, and I can't get it to capture on camera, I don't think. There is subtle color coming through. Very subtle color, especially in the inside of the skein, which I think why rescanning these two would be beneficial to get a good idea. Of course, I have some white spots too. This one's overall just a fail. A fail, but a win-win. But there you go. This has encouraged me to, all of this, even the failures have encouraged me to want to play with it more and see what I can do and I can come up with. Because I love color. I love working with color, and this is a very nice yarn. So thanks for watching. Hit that like button, subscribe if you want to see more of this, and tune in tomorrow and see what I'm getting up to next. Here are the two Halloweeny colorways reskeined, and I have to say, it makes all the difference in the world. The colors get more blended in. I'm trying to get where you can see this black one a little bit better. See? You can, under this light, you can see the different colors. It doesn't look as solid black. Even the little bits of orange and purple are coming through now. Look, there's some unhappy spots, I guess I would say. But for the most part, I think it turned out really cool. And this one is amazing, what the difference reskeining it did to break up the clumps of color and how it's blended. Would I be happier if it had some bright, vivid purple in there? Yes, I would. But overall, it kind of did what I wanted it to do. I'm not hating these as much as I did when I first pulled them off the drying rack and looked at them. And I think they might knit up kind of interesting. But I got to come up with an interesting project for them. Because they could be mixed. I could do, something to break them up. I don't know. If you have any ideas, put them in the comments below, and I'll see what I can come up with. I think this one I'm going to call Vampire Weekend? No, Vampire, or something like that, because it's Halloweeny colors, but black. And then this one, I still kind of like it as Witchy Poo or Samhain Nights. I don't know. Let me know what you think. Thanks for watching.